T.O.L Studios, and today in lesson 5 we're going to just keep going down the neck and exploring. I talked about in this first spot right here, we learned the notes, that we learned how to play in this little shape or this little position, this pattern. Then I told you make sure you understand how that goes backwards, or again you're going lower in the scale. Okay, and then after you got that, you're supposed to have that memorized. Again, making sure that you're knowing it's E, F, G, A, and all the way being able to say the letters. Then we went to this next position and learned G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And that's kind of on this pattern was the first time we had to look at taking notes like this and kind of moving a finger off the fret so it'd kind of shift us up a little bit farther. Meaning we were started right here with first finger on the 2nd fret, then 3rd fret, 4th fret, 5th. So as we did the G to the A, that's why we're going 2 to 4. And then we did the 1, 2, 4 for our fingers. 1, 2, 4. Then we did for the A, B, and the C, 1, 3, 4. But then since we're going to have to stretch up on this next string, we went D, so we shifted that finger up, which gave us our E. And then now that allowed our finger to go one higher to get to the F. So that pattern is the first time we did that. This next pattern I'm getting ready to show you, you're going to do that and you kind of shift it again another spot. So some of these patterns get a little bit trickier than maybe the first one you learn. Again, just practice them. I realize some of them get harder than others. You just got to put a little bit more time in on those till you can see them just as easy as the other ones. Okay, so we're going to start on the A note with our first finger, and we're on the 5th fret. And again, I just know that from knowing it's an open E, then F, G, and then the A. So I'm going to have A, then B going up a whole step or up 2 frets, so I'm going to use my 3rd finger. And then B and C go next to each other, so that's why I'm going to just take my 4th finger for C. So we have A, B, C. And then the next string is going to allow us to play D, go up a whole step for our E, and then our F, and again those go right next to each other just like the B and the C. So that these end up being the same finger pattern, A, B, C, or 1, 3, 4 for the fingers, then D, E, F, so the same fingers. Then we go G, A. Now for the B, we're going to have to take our first finger and just slide back to the 4th fret. So that's a little different. Before we kind of slid up on that last pattern I taught you. This one we're kind of sliding back to the 4th fret for B, C, D. And then you're going to have to slide back up one to go back kind of with your first finger on the 5th fret. So we're on the E now. So again, I'm going to walk back through that part. We had on the 4th string on the 5th fret, that was the G, A. And after that A, that's when we kind of shifted back for B, C, D. Then you're going to shift this first finger back up to the 5th fret for E, F, G. And then you finish with your A, B, C. So if I said all those again, and keep in mind, each one of these I'm showing you, and we're going to talk about this more later, but I'm teaching you what a scale is. I'll end up showing you this as a C scale. So all these notes in this pattern that I first taught you, and again, if I'm going too quick, go back, review this, and then you should know it going backwards or going lower in the scale. Okay, that's the first pattern I was showing you here when we learned how to take the single strings and how all the letters went. And then we learned how to first take those notes and play them here. Then I taught you the next one, which was going to be, okay, so that was again me going G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, the same thing, I wanted you to learn that backwards. So A, G, and then your F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. Now I'm teaching you this next pattern, and we're going to start on the A note, and that gives us A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Go back to B, C, D, come back up for E, F, G, A, B, C. And if I go backwards or down the scale, C, B, A, G, F, E, slide my pinky back to D, C, B, then you're going to go A, G, F, E, D, C, B, and then A. Now in this particular pattern, because the way it shifts like back and then back up, when we did this, and as we get to the fourth string, when we did the G, A, and then we shifted back for B, C, D, and then we shifted up to the E, F, G. As we come down that scale, when we were doing it backwards, we want to do it the same finger. So if I'm doing the G, F, E, I don't want you to do the D with this. You could, but for now I want you to take the pinky like when we did it on the way up. So you're going to go G, F, E. Take your pinky to the D, and then C, B. And the same thing, I want you to take your third finger and go back to get A on the fourth string, G, and then that way, see, you're back in your like position you started the pattern out with. That way, when you end up on the A here, that would have been the same way when you went up the scale. And again, that's going to help the more you do that, your finger muscleization. If you keep changing it, you won't memorize that as well too. Later on, you might change it some. So that's a key spot in there that you might slow down and work just on those middle strings of the guitar, because that's a little tricky there. Okay, so again, you should go back, review, make sure you know this first pattern. And again, it's not how fast you play it. Do it as slow as you need to, but being again able to say the letters as you do it too. Then you should definitely know this pattern. Same way, going up it, and make sure you're able to see it going backwards. And again, you do it at the smart speed, go as slow as you need to. Then make sure you start learning this one, but as you learn it, even if you see this as the 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, and so forth, or if you see that as 1 finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, 1, 3rd finger, 4th finger, 1 finger. Both of those are actually true, so see it each way, and eventually you're going to see it all as one. If you have to do those first, but make sure you're able to come back and say A, B, C, D, E. And for right now, to keep it simple, whatever note you realize you start on, I haven't taken them out of order, so if you know you're starting on A, as long as you know this is where you're going, it's going to be B. As long as you know you put it on the right spot, that's got to be C. That's why this has to be D. Okay, just make sure you're not playing it on the wrong fret, and that's all you got to do is make sure you're on the right fret, so I'm showing you. Okay, so I had some fun with that pattern, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next lesson with T.O.L Studios. Thank you.